Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a beautiful winter Tuesday. And actually, it's not even the official beginning of winter yet. I guess they call this meteorological winter. I was just laughing with somebody earlier today. It's amazing how at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're ready for bed now. We've got to do something about this daylight savings time. Well, I have another great show for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. Tonight, we have the honor and pleasure of welcoming the mayor and First Lady of Bronzeville to the show this evening. We welcome the Guichards on the show tonight. And they are the owners of Guichard Gallery here in Chicago, an iconic institution that has some of the best fine art ever. So we have a lot in store with them this evening. I'm looking forward to that. And then our amazing co-host tonight, Mr. Bishop Damone Seraphin, who's in the box next to me. He and I are going to have a conversation about fatherhood and children in today's society and the role that the father plays. We're going to talk about how the father is depicted in certain images and just everything fatherhood. We'll talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My co-host, my dear friend, veteran actor, director, man of the cloth, the one and only Bishop Damone Seraphin.
Yay! Hey, everybody. It's so good to be back in the co-hosting seat. I just let everybody know we are live and on air on all of my social media handles, IG and Facebook. And so I'm stoked about today's show. And listen, there we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotta have a little something.
Yes. Pull one out for Pookie and them. Yes.
Listen, for Pookie and Baby and them.
Yes. Well, happy holidays. It's been a while since you've been here with us. I think it was a little before Thanksgiving. We were still waiting to see who our new president would be. I know you had been on the road trying to do some things, with you being a veteran actor and in the entertainment world. So get us caught up on what's been going on with you since we've last seen you.
Let me tell you, it has been crazy busy, and I'm grateful. This pandemic has not been really good to most of us in my industry. So to say that I have been just as busy in pandemic as I was pre-pandemic, I'm not complaining. I'm grateful, but it's busy. Between having directed 2 plays, live productions, which is a whole other conversation. We can talk about that.
Right.
We're living in this kind of virtual reality. And so I'm directing 3 productions right now. Just came back from doing a holiday concert that's going to be streamed in the coming weeks. And so it's been busy. And then I'm teaching. I'm adjuncting at Rider University and did a guest lecture at Harvard. And so, the calendar is full and I couldn't be any more grateful. And I hadn't even talked about preaching engagements and all that stuff.
Right. So you're just strictly talking about the arts world.
I'm just talking about
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, the one thing I will say is that I've not suffered any during this pandemic. I did have to make a pivot like other people, but this is, this has been a time to reflect and renew and redirect energies in a lot of different ways. And so, I'm with you, brother. I enjoy doing what I do with this show every night. It's building momentum. People are enjoying it. So it is what it is, but I'm just glad.
There's a gift in this time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If we are wise, we would do well to appropriate this gift rightly. If we come out of this pandemic the way we went in, then we failed.
Right.
And you get what you get.
Yes.
But if you've taken this time to go in, go deep, reflect, clean some stuff up, move some stuff and some people out of the circumference of your life, let me tell you, this is the time to do it. If you wanted to start a business, if you wanted to bring back a business, this was the time to go into the shop of your life, pull those things together so that you can come out not getting ready to, but already on the other side and fully functioning in that new space. If you have misappropriated this time, then shame on you.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. There have been so many things that I've discovered during this pandemic. I recently traveled so I could see what it's like as a travel writer. For people who are thinking about traveling again, we'll talk a little bit today about how our airports here in Chicago are getting ready to do COVID testing at the airport. We've got to get back to normal, Damone. You see what I'm saying? This is just really not unhealthy. I know people who have been in the house this entire time. I was hanging out with someone briefly just the other day, and I said to her, I said, well, have you been? She said, no grocery stores, no anything. She's had everything delivered since the beginning of this pandemic. And I don't think I can do that. I have to pick my own produce. I have to pick my own, it's just certain things that,
Well, you said something, and I'm gonna challenge what you just said, or give a little pushback. You said we've got to get back to normal, and I'm gonna say we've got to create a new normal.
I love it.
Now, listen to those people who've been listen. There was a time for you to come out, and if you didn't come out, then I don't know what to say for you. Keep your hand sanitizer, keep your mask by you. Hello. Stay stuck in your house, put this thing on, and don't be all up on top of it. That's right. Get your hands right. We have got to create a new normal that's going to allow your life to flourish. I get it in those first few months when we didn't know what was what. But now we're in a space where we got some handle on it a bit, that you don't have to be hermited in your domicile.
Right.
You can't hop on a plane and go to Paris just yet.
No.
But you can get out into the world, catch a breath, and get some newness in your life. I'm telling you, we can choose to lay in all of the ills and ills of this pandemic. We can choose to do that, or we can choose to flip this. The scripture says I think the context works here. The enemy meant it for evil, but God used it for my good.
Amen. I
think that's the way we got to look at it. Yep. It's like Joseph's brothers. They tossed him in the pit and they tried to kill him. And Joseph said, listen, y'all tried to take me out. You meant it for evil. But God used that pit moment. He used that palace moment, and he completely flipped the script. We got to do it. We got to do it.
All right. Very good. That makes good sense. So you're right. Our new normal, not back to normal. Our new normal. Look, I'll drink to that. I agree with you. Look, I agree.
Cheers to you. Listen, that old normal was toxic and crazy.
You're absolutely right about it. You're absolutely right. People getting away with murder, mistreating people, doing any old kind of. You are absolutely right. You are right. So, okay. Well, I will buy that. Well, let's do the latest COVID-19 numbers for the state of Illinois today. Damone is actually on the East Coast, so he'll give us the update of what's going on there in his area. Illinois public health officials announced today 7,910 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19. This is now putting the state over 800,000 cases since the beginning of this pandemic. The state now has 804,174 cases, and we had 145 additional fatalities since yesterday. These fatalities is what's really worrying me now, which now brings our total number of deaths in our state to 13,487. And we're in the beginning of the holiday crops. We are 17 days away from Christmas. I see people steady traveling. I see people steady giving parties and doing things. I even saw where a company had their holiday party yesterday in a break room. So, I mean, what do you expect? These are super spreader events.
Yeah. I think, listen, we just said it. It's a new day. So we're not going to have Christmas as usual. We can't gather like we used to. Those people who are gathering in these large places on top of each other, I'm just telling you, let me know what you want said at your funeral, because you setting yourself up. Make sure your suit is out and ready. Make sure your insurance policy is in order because you setting yourself up for danger. But we've got to embrace this new normal. I had a reunion with my 8th grade class from Anton Dvorak Elementary School on the west side of Chicago, and we were all on Zoom.
Nice.
Tipping and laughing and kikiing. That's what it is right now.
Yes, and that's what it's gonna be. Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I saw my mommy on camera.
Wow. So how are things out there in the New York, New Jersey area as far as the numbers and because you guys are getting ready to be on lockdown again, like Los Angeles?
Yeah, we are. What are we at? About 718,000 cases. Whew, that's a lot. 24,387 deaths. Yeah, and that's in New York City.
Wow.
234,000 cases in New York City. Those are the latest numbers. Our schools are like yo-yos, open and close. You open, somebody comes down with COVID, you got to close it. Open it again, somebody comes down with COVID, you got to close it. Churches that are opening, listen, I'm a bishop. And I think, again, I keep telling you, I'm looking at all the gifts of COVID. People are clamoring to get into these buildings. And I think God is challenging us beyond the building because folks are now going to the building and dying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just was talking to a clergy member the other day, and he has one of those old school traditional churches. And I said to him, I said, listen, you need to learn how to pivot that. I said, whether you buy all the old ladies in the church an iPad for Christmas, do something and teach them how to. I said, but dude, you're gonna have to learn to do that again, especially these churches that have that older demographic, that staunch mother club, and that we've got to be very careful. I don't care if that lady in England today was 90 years old and she got the first vaccination. We don't know, right? That's not Mother Hattie who live on the south side of Chicago or in the Bronx, or right? Yeah, no. It's
listen, I said it to a preacher friend of mine, you better come into the new aluminum.
Right. Into the new aluminum. That's right. Listen, that's right.
And if you think about it, economically, it just makes sense.
Yes.
Because we are spending thousands, millions of dollars on a building. And so because we're trying to pay for a building, we can't really engage true ministry.
Right.
Hello, lights. Amen. Ouch. Take one. Choose one. Because we're trying to pay for a $30,000 elevator upgrade, we can't go and sow into the community to establish a language lab, a reading lab, a literacy lab. We can't help people deal with money because we're busy trying to take their money. That's most of the reason why we want people back in these churches. Because we got to figure out how to pay for it. But I'm telling you, I'm experiencing some great stuff online.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, what's that song? We'll never love this way again. Yeah, we'll never worship this way again. It's a new season.
It's a new season. It really is. All right. Well, with that being said, for those of you all that are considering traveling in or out of O'Hare Airport, the city issued a statement today that COVID-19 restrictions are going to get more options of getting tested before flying. The Chicago Department of Aviation aims to have testing sites at O'Hare and Midway Airport up and running next week before the Christmas holiday travel season begins. American Airlines has also expanded its access by offering at-home testing kits for $129. You kind of do it yourself, send it in, and they let you know what the deal is. The aviation testing sites will offer both type of tests, and all passengers and employees would be able to get this comprehensive test. And so O'Hare will have a walk-up testing site adjacent to the terminal before travelers go through security, also a drive-up site in a parking lot, and Midway will have a walk-up testing site site in the terminal. I can't say all this tonight for some reason. What do you think about this? You and I are both travelers. You've actually had to travel a little bit for your ministry and for the theater. So what are you gung-ho for all of this?
Well, let me tell you, this is funny because today I just had to have a COVID test because I was doing a concert in Pennsylvania. So today I had a COVID test. Here's the other thing that's funny too. I just bought into a travel business. And at one point I thought this was just a waste of my money because I'm not sure how this traveling thing is going to look. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to hear about these options. I'm not sure about this vaccine yet. I'm not telling people to do it or not to do it. That's not what I'm saying. But I am excited about the possibility of these tests being able to be had before you fly, before you travel and move about the country, as we say, or the world. I think that's great. I think where my concern comes from, and I'm doing it right now, I'm not with my fam. I'm in our place in Jersey City because I have to quarantine at least until I get these results back. Right. My concern is for the people who are traveling and then just coming back willy-nilly like everything's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I've learned and what discovered when I came back from Cincinnati when we were doing convocation. I came back and they forced this thing in my hand. Where you been? Where you going? Where you coming? You gotta, and so they can track you. And if you don't fill these things out and it's traced back to you, that's big trouble. That's big trouble. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we'll use wisdom and do what we have to do so that we can do what we want to do.
Okay, well, somebody did ask the question, will these tests be mandatory? I think that's what they're probably going to end up implementing, that you either have to show that you've had the vaccination, at least one of the shots, because I was looking at World News and they were talking about that, once you get the vaccination, you have to wait 21 days before you can go back and get the other. But if you've at least had the dose, they'll give you something saying that you had the initial dose. I think they're going to start requiring people to prove that. Or people will have to prove that they are COVID free before they can get on the airplane. Because I have had people to say that they have been on full flights now. And so it just makes me wonder. Look, I'm going to start flying with 3 people now.
So you can
Right. At least I know right there where I'm at. And look, I stay wrapped up, all of that. Right. At least, I know it's seats behind me, seats in front of me, but at least the 2 people sitting next to me, I know who they are.
Let me tell you, on the plane, I had my spray and I sprayed down my seat, the seat next to me, and the seat in front of me. I was just on the train coming back from PA and I sprayed down everything that I came in contact with.
Yes, me too. Me too. I was watching something earlier today, and Fran Drescher, she's huge into health, all of this. She taught me something today that I didn't even know you could do. You could take 100% pure peppermint oil, take alcohol, rubbing alcohol, the higher grade better, and water, mix it all in a bottle, and you got a sanitizer. I said, I didn't know that. So that, you know what I'm saying? Really ingenious. So there's no reason why people cannot sanitize, keep things clean, and do the right thing.
And maybe this is a huge stretch, but I'm going to say it just because we're on the air. And if for no reason, it's incendiary. It's like sex. You can get a condom anywhere. There's no reason for you to come home with any gifts that keep on giving.
Right.
You've got material at your disposal.
Yes.
Same thing for COVID. We've got all the tools. Now, what you do with it is up to you.
You know what, Bishop? That's so funny you would say that. I was talking to somebody earlier who said to me, listen, I've had more COVID tests than I've had HIV and STD tests. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, think about it, because they're in the same field you're in. They're on call for what they do. So they have to get a COVID test on a regular. And they said, yes, they said, I've had more COVID tests than I've had for been tested for sexually transmitted diseases. I said, that's incredible.
I'm up to 8.
Wow.
8 COVID tests. Today marks 8. They stuck that thing all the way back, tried to give me a lobotomy.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
All the way back.
Swab.
Yeah.
Swab. I want the swab. I want the swab. Give me the swab. No,
listen,
sir.
Whatever's going to tell the truth. That's what I want.
Right.
Don't give me something that's going to be a false negative. I want the straight up truth. So if you got to go on back to the corners of my mind, then you come on with it. Come on with it. I will tell you, the lady who did it today, she was having a good day because it didn't feel like much was going down my nose and down my throat. So I was really grateful for that because sometimes they got attitude sometimes.
Oh, I know. Very good. Well, Damone, let me tell you the funniest thing. We're 17 days away from Christmas. First of all, I can't believe it. You see, the only Christmas spirit I have is my little tree right here. And I don't know. This Christmas is so different than any other Christmas we've had. Whether rich, poor, whatever the case may be, this pandemic has put a shadow over Christmas like no other. And there are actually things that are actually not selling this holiday season that you'd be very surprised about.
Wow, tell me about that. Listen, I ain't got a stitch of Christmas up in here. So I ain't got a stitch. And here's something else for you, Art. I don't think I'm gonna have a stitch.
Right.
I think I'm just gonna have to have it in my heart and on my computer.
Yeah, right. Because really, when you think about it, you're not having people over, or you're not supposed to. We are in times now. You get out there, I like the outdoor decoration. I love the people that are doing the light show. But for a lot of us, people are unemployed right now. People are steady battling this virus. People are homeschooling their children. So we've got to try to make the most of all of it. Right. Exactly.
My kids actually said, "Daddy, we don't have to put up no tree. We're good. Just make sure we got something new. At least one thing new." That's what my kids said. Now I didn't have to say it, so I was grateful. I was like, "Great, that tree stand where it's at."
Well, now here is one of the things that is not selling. Fragrances, colognes, and perfumes are not selling. Okay, exactly. I said, who knew? Colognes and perfumes are not selling.
Wow.
Women's shoes are not doing as well as people would think they are, because women have nowhere to wear the shoes. And we're not talking winter boots. We're not talking about, water boots, things like that. We're talking about expensive, high-end heels. Red bottoms. Right. Women have nowhere to wear these things. Another thing that is not selling very well right now, and I didn't think about this as well either. They were saying that children's clothing is not selling as well because you're not sending children to school. Kids are at home homeschooling, much like we are. So a kid is going to have on a decent shirt or whatever they require and shorts. So children's clothing is not even selling as well as you thought. Winter clothes, let me see. Other things that they said that are selling well are gloves and mittens.
Sure.
Long underwear is doing very well. Robes is selling. Snow pants and pajamas. Other than that, electronics are doing really well. Anything home entertainment, any of that. Greeting cards and note cards are doing well. They said people are actually going back to the old-fashioned days of writing and sending people holiday cards, all of that. Musical instruments are doing very well, and any accessories that go with musical instruments. Anything that has to do like with broadcasting, ring lights, microphones, any of this kind of stuff is doing extremely well. Any type of magical or novelty ideas or gifts, puzzles, gag gifts, things like that are doing well. Actually, event tickets are doing horribly. You know how people would buy somebody a tour pass or a Lollapalooza tickets, things like that, and that's doing horribly as well too. Cameras, telescopes are all doing well, and security systems are doing well.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. Listen, I got Monet a new Coach bag. And then I turned around and I was like, why did I just spend $300-400 on this bag? and you ain't gonna use it nowhere.
Right.
I tell you what I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you some new blouses because the only thing people see are from the waist on up. So
Right.
that's what we're investing in. My kids, it's funny. Caleb stays in bed. He puts that laptop on his lap, and he's got his shirt on, and he's like, ready. So yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I wish I'd done what my friend did when Zoom first came out and he bought Zoom stock.
Yes.
I wish I would have done that. I wish, like I said, I just bought into this travel business and I'm like, what the hellman's mayonnaise did I do that for?
Right.
So I'm not shocked. Listen, this people, you said it. And I was on the Samuel DeWitt Proctor prayer call this morning with Dr. Jeremiah Wright and Freddie Haynes and those. And I was the prayer. I did the prayer this morning. And one of the things we talked about is that people are financially depressed.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes.
We can't afford these things like we used to be able to do. And so now we have to get the necessities. The laptop is now a necessity.
Sure is.
It is a necessity.
Yeah.
Those red bottom shoes, a waste of money. By the time you get to them, you'd have to get a new pair because you'd be grown out of them. We got to get the necessities because that's what folk can afford. Jobs are still downsizing.
A lot of jobs, we've been talking about this. We talked about it yesterday and last week on the show. A lot of people are getting notifications from their employers that are saying you will not be returning to the office now until August or September of 2021.
Yeah.
So think about how far away that is. And then keep in mind, we have been fighting this pandemic now almost a year. Remember, it was in December when we first started hearing about COVID-19.
It sure was. And it's a whole new world. Paul Mooney said it the best. Baby, baby, baby. And the walls came tumbling down.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a different world. And so we have to live our lives accordingly, not in fear. Don't be afraid. But you said a really beautiful word, Art, earlier. Pivot. That's what we said when we dance. Pivot. You got to know how to pivot.
Yes.
Yes. And for those of us who are stuck, stationary, and stagnant, we'll suffer the consequences. So this is a moment of pivoting, and so let's pivot, baby, pivot.
Now, Damone, how will you and the family celebrate the holiday? How will you guys? Will you have other people over? Will it just be the immediate family? Or okay, none of that.
Listen, Thanksgiving I cooked for the four of us, and we had a Zoom party. We still picking on that bird. That bird was good too. Ooh, right. Christmas, the same. Listen, and Christmas, I've always felt this way about Christmas. It's less about us and more about us serving other people. And so this is really, we decided, and I did this earlier in the pandemic. I think I talked to you about this, where we were able to provide food for a neighbor whose husband, the provider of that house, died. And so we were able to buy groceries for a month for that family. And so we've been really blessed. She's working these two jobs that she thought she wasn't even going to be able to do. And I'm doing my thing, and so we're blessed to be a blessing. So here's my challenge for everybody who's watching right now. What are the ways that you can step outside of yourself to make sure that people who are not as blessed as you are at least able to come up to the line? What can you do that will make a world of difference in the life of somebody else who's struggling and can't do for themselves or their family? That's what we're doing for Christmas this year, Art. We're going to see how we can bless the lives of our neighbors. Because we've got neighbors who are struggling.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I just think it's something that we should all do this holiday season. There are no holiday parties to go to. There's no real reason for you to be out shopping and doing all that. So now more than ever, give something to somebody. My goal every time I leave out the house now is to drop a bag off at either, the Salvation Army or someplace that really a shelter, whoever could use items right now, because I want to get rid of everything. I want to go into 2021 living a very simple life, a very simplistic life at most. Yes.
Yeah. And you got some good stuff, Art. I know you, boy.
Thank you,
know you. So listen, listen, I'm a size 10 and a half. So those red bottoms that you're not gonna wear, I'll slide around the house in them now.
Right. Yeah. Because my foot is bigger, but I got you. I'm not gonna get the red bottoms away yet, but I got you. There may be a pair that I can send your way. There may be a pair where one of the rhinestones fell off of it. Just one.
Listen, ain't nobody got to know about that rhinestone. Right. Got to know. Nobody got to know.
Very good. Man. All right. Well, Bishop, let's remind everybody the importance of wearing their mask. You guys, we do this every night on the show. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, coronavirus 19, something that we had heard about at the beginning of last year this time. And here we are still fighting it. Millions of Americans are going through it right now. We've had a fatality number just out of control in the United States, state by state. LA County has closed back down. No more barbershops, beauty shops, indoor dining, only bare necessities. I was told that in LA County, there's no water on the shelves, no toilet paper, any of that. And it looks like other places in the country will be doing it as well, too. So we want to remind everyone to please wear your mask. Put your mask on nice and tight. Make sure you cover your nose, your mouth, everywhere so that you do not. Yep. Make sure you cover everything.
Yep. Put those glasses. Here's a trick.
Yes, please, because I'm so sick of being fogged up. Let's talk about
it. If you put your mask on and sit the bridge, the underneath of your glass right here, sit it just on top of that mask. Mm-hmm. And that's the fog.
Well, I know one thing. I'm getting ready to get smaller glasses for when I go out. These are my image glasses, but when I go out in public, I'm gonna have on smaller ones. Because see, with these being larger, man, I put that mask on and I walk in someplace and I'm literally like I'm in a fire trying to get out. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
You gotta sit it on top of the mask, and that'll block that fog. And listen, y'all, let me say this. Brother Art, you people will walk out here and you will wrap your whole doggone head up in a scarf.
Right.
With no problems. But you Negroes and Niglets and crazy people are running around here talking about, I can't wear no mask. I can't breathe. You didn't have no problem putting that doggone scarf over your face. So why is it problem? This is going to save your life. Put on my favorite movie is Misery. She says, we didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car. And I'm telling you, put on the cock-a-doodie mask.
Put it on. It's just that easy, just that simple. It is. It's that easy, that simple. We're not going to debate it and fight with you guys. You put it on just like this. Yeah. Cover your nose and mouth. Half of y'all have it down here. Half of y'all have it as a chin guard. Hell no. All of that's wrong. That's wrong. All of it.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
Yes, just like that. Yes.
That's wrong.
And then we want to remind you guys to sanitize. Soap and water is the most important thing. If you have it, hot water, 20 seconds. Make sure you clean your hands real good, clean under your nails, all of that great stuff. If you don't have soap and water, hand sanitizer do. Keep plenty of it around. I just learned from Fran Drescher today how you can make your own sanitizer disinfectant at home, and it's natural. Any of these things will help. Social distance, at least 6 feet is important. Tell people to get up off of you. You know what to do. Get them up off of you. You from the hood. You know how to tell people get up off of me. Right. That type of thing. Another thing, if you're not feeling well, what do we say on this show? keep your ass in the house. There's no reason. Keep your ass in the house. Keep your ass at home. I don't care who you are. You know, I had a high-ranking official from the Salvation Army on last Tuesday night, and I didn't want to say that. He sent me an inbox message. Say it, Chat Daddy. Keep your ass in the house. I ain't want to offend the man, but it's true. Because people don't understand any other way. Keep your ass in the house. Right.
Keep your ass at home.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. For those of you all that are just tuning in, welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy, and the co-host seat tonight is Bishop Damone Seraphin. He is coming to us from New Jersey. He's a good friend of mine. He's originally from Chicago, the West Side. And later on in the show, he'll be talking about fatherhood and the dynamics between fathers and children and how that relationship is developed. And Bishop, I even want to talk about how these fathers can mend these relationships with their children. Because now more than ever during this pandemic, you need to get your family in order, right?
This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it.
Okay. All right. So during the 8 o'clock hour, that's what we're going to talk about. So our first guest this evening, Bishop, is a husband and wife duo that I love and adore. They're known as the mayor and first lady of Bronzeville. And as you know, Bishop, being from Chicago, Bronzeville is an area rich in history, arts, and culture. And they actually came in 2005. They were in one location, and now they have their flagship gallery in on 47th Street. It is beautiful. Oh, they have a beautiful garden. Every year I go to their gala. I just love and adore both of them. And I need to find out, what are they taking, because they look younger every year.
Oh, then I need to see these people.
Yeah, it must be the paint. Right. They must be huffing something. You know, maybe it's the paint, maybe it's the, you know what I'm saying? Because dude, they are looking amazing each and every year.
Well, let's get them on. I want to see them.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The proprietors of Gallery Guichard, our good friend, Mr. Andre and Francis Guichard. I think that's how we say it. We always correct and make sure it's Guichard. Hello, you two.
What's up?
How are you? Hey.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to pin y'all down somewhere and see what the secret is.
Yeah, I told dude, they are turning back the hands of time. Like, you look, I thought I was turning it back, but they sure enough turning it back. Look, or either they got damn good filters on this camera tonight. Maybe that's what it is.
I like to think it's the other way around.
You're right, not the filters. Okay, well, I ain't gonna lie, mine might be a little filter. We'll see.
Well, I can't stop laughing over here. I'm watching, just holding my breath, trying to stop laughing.
I know.
Thank you. So glad to have you both on. You know, I love and adore both of you. You've been such a tremendous force in our community. The title of mayor and first lady of Bronzeville is something that fit both of you. Do me a favor, kind of tell everybody about your gallery, introduce yourselves, and then we are here to just do whatever you guys want us to do to help you out, because you really are an institution here in our city.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chat Daddy. Well, you summed it up amazingly well, and I want to first and foremost say thank you. And I think of your career and my career similarly, 25 years of making things happen and surviving. So before we start, first and foremost, hats off to you for always being someone who will share someone's dream and passion just like yours. So thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah. And, you know, it's been a great ride. I mean, I want to say the journey has been simply amazing. 15 years now here in Bronzeville. Francis and I would say we're an effective team, and we love each other. And we also have Stephen Mitchell, our business partner. Mm-hmm. But it has been what I would say, you know, not only just our mission of creating platforms for collectors and artists to meet, but it's when we meet the collectors and all the relationships and the friendships that have grown from that. And then traveling the world, we've actually been around the world with our art to Africa 6 times, searching for artists and bringing artists back to Gallery Guichard with our bridge exhibit. And then also the Bronzeville Art District, now in its 14th year. Mm-hmm. 5 major institutions here in Bronzeville that are part of the largest African-American art district in the country now. So it's really amazing. You think of Chicago as the premier location for African American businesses. And I guess then you could also talk about, of course, Building Community Foundation and the work we're doing there.
And I just want to say a little bit more about the art district. You know, everybody has different art, a different fingerprint. So you can go to all the different galleries, including the Bronzeville Artist Lofts, and see all of the beautiful work. We have Little Black Pearl, Fay Art Gallery, the Southside Community Art Center, Lot Gallery. We also have as I mentioned, the Bronzeville Artist Lofts, where the artist studios open up, and of course, Gallery Guichard. I think I got them all, right?
You got them all. And last year in September, during the Bronzeville Art District, there were 4,500 people on 47th Street, Chat Daddy, to kind of take in the art. They were there to the trolley. So when COVID happened this year, we both were thinking like, oh, shucks. We had already heard the quick news of 41% of African-American businesses closing. And we thought about, well, if we're the largest African-American art district and any of us close, that could actually change our status. So we really were focused through the Building Community Foundation, which is also the fiscal agent for the Bronzeville Art District, and it's the platform for the mayor of Bronzeville. But we thought about how could we use that platform to make sure that our art district stay connected with the community. So through the help of AARP, our presenting sponsor, Blue Cross Blue Shield, People's Gas, we were actually able to focus on creating videos and connecting during quarantine so people could still ride the trolley virtually. So I would say that was a great success.
Oh yeah, it was
I love it.
Opportunity. We were able to, really bring in some amazing, talent to be able to showcase the artwork while people were coming in and experiencing the different galleries and moving around throughout Bronzeville. Can you imagine 4,500 people moving around Bronzeville, in and out of the various spaces, music and entertainment everywhere? Pre-COVID.
Well, I've hosted several of the buses for you guys in past years. It is the best fun. I've had at least 10 people when I announced you were coming on the show last night saying how much they miss it. You guys give a world-class event for the people of the community, for the city. And I you're right. And so that's one of the things that I'm missing now more than ever, but I love how you've taken this virtual.
And you talk about something that people really miss it, not just from the social aspect, but we're learning that it's really becoming about wellness. So that getting exposed to immersing yourself at Gallery Guichard or the Southside Community Arts Center, or any of the things that we had easily available that we could take for granted. Now depression is setting in. So what we're finding is people are looking around at their walls and figuring out, maybe I didn't pay enough attention here and I need to now. So that brings us to the virtual exhibition catalog, which has been really an amazing pivot for us personally as a gallery, because it really was at that same moment also looking at how, people were using the internet then to buy art. We could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity. As Andre said, we were able to pivot into something different, and that's what you have to do during this time. It can be depressing, but if you think about how you can make it better, turn lemons into lemonade, that's what we've done. We now have the virtual exhibition catalogs, which will allow us to showcase all of our exhibits from various different artists from around the world in a virtual exhibit where it's a 360-degree falling into the gallery and kind of being able to walk around and seeing each of the pieces just like you see behind us now. So you can actually drop right into the gallery, walk right up to the piece with your fingers on your computer or your cell phone. Andre says like 1, 2, 3. It's very easy. And then you can walk right up to the piece, kind of see each of the areas of the piece, walk back, and you can see the frame around it. And you can then tap on the matter tag, which we call, it's like a little dot or circle, and underneath each of the paintings, which opens up and gives you information about each of the pieces, the title, the medium, the dimensions. And then sometimes we'll have a little extra information behind each of the pieces with a synopsis or maybe even a video. So it's really a great opportunity to see not only the exhibit that's currently showing, but past exhibits as well.
Exactly. And we can actually do a demonstration if we can screen share.
Oh, please. Absolutely. Do you all have it on another computer?
No, if I can use screen share right here, I can try.
Oh, you got it. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Yep. You got it. Or no?
Maybe. Let's see real quick. She's in there. Okay.
Take your time. Bishop, do you? Oh, there we are. All right, here we go. Let me add it to the screen. Yep. Hold on. Let me add it to the screen. And let's see what we got here. Don't we just love how this works?
Isn't technology something?
I look, I'm loving this so much. Yay. All right. Yay. Look at that.
Yay,
Look, y'all taught me something tonight. I didn't even know I had that capability. Wow.
And if you look down, I'll just scroll down.
Wait, what happened? Wait. We lost it. Hold on. Oh, wait. Or did you?
No, I'm just moving it. Do you see it moving?
No, we can't see it.
Let me see. It disappeared on our end. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see. No, what did we oh, here we go. There we go. Yay. All right.
Okay.
Oh,
there we are. So you can see it moving. This is the virtual exhibition catalog page where we have all of our virtual exhibition catalogs. And the last one we did was VEC number 9.
And on the website, if you go to the VEC page, there are 2 links for each catalog. The first link is a quick video introduction of what the catalog and the exhibit is about, and we'll give you a demonstration by clicking on that link first.
Right, and when you go to it, you go to our website at www.galleryguichard.com. And let's
okay, that's what I was trying to put in everything right now. So okay, continue with your presentation as I put everything in for everybody. Beautiful.
Hello, my name is Andre Guichard, artist, collector, curator, and co-owner of Gallery Guichard.
I'm Frances Guichard, also known as the artist Marlene Campbell, artist, collector, curator, and co-owner of Gallery Guichard. Our mission is to expose multicultural artists to collectors while specializing in the art of the African diaspora.
Welcome to our new exhibition, Humankind, which is a collaboration of artists from the Midwest, including Chicago, Detroit, and Milwaukee.
Artists capture what makes us human in this thought-provoking and colorful exhibit. Our ability to love, to care, to show emotion, empathy, and feelings. Expressions of humankind that delve into relationships, family, friends, and those things that make us human.
This exhibit is full of vibrant color, cubism, and abstraction, but art that touches the soul as it enjoys and makes you think about music, love, and laughter. Original art is no longer just about decoration and beautification. Original art has now become as much about wellness as it is decoration. Many of our collectors are finding that during quarantine, it is helping them to relax and cleanse their spirit.
Original art appreciates and values, something you can pass down from generation to generation. Buy what you like and what makes you feel good. Each piece is hand-produced and singular. Buy art that makes you happy. Visit our website for our virtual exhibition catalog.
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click on the link for the virtual exhibition catalog that you're interested in. Then once it opens up, you are inside of the Gallery Guichard exhibition of your choice. Now you can move around freely by touching the circles, and you can get information about each painting, title, medium, artist, and contact information for Gallery Guichard.
Check out our no-interest payment plans. We also are an event space for meetings, weddings, receptions, and other events. Check us out on galleryguichard.com.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you. And
look,
so
you guys have taken this to a whole new level.
Oh,
You're talking about a pivot. This was a pivot for real, though. Really, it was.
this really was, and it really saved our lives, Chad, because March 20th, everything was completely flat, once the quarantine hit, and we were sitting just really thinking about what could we do to stay connected. So this has really been great. We're up to our 9th volume now, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City has agreed to archive our catalog. So now our artists who we collect will be looked at and archived with the greatest artists from ever, in terms of from around the world. The most important contemporary artists, our African-American brothers and sisters, will be documented right with those.
That is absolutely.
Wow. I was going to say, Damone, isn't this impressive? I told you I love them.
Now.
Right. It's time for corporations to really start thinking about buying art, because it really helps elevate their own collection as well.
Exactly. And, we all heard of Kerry James Marshall, an example of extreme appreciation right here in the community. And I like to ask this question because there are tons of national treasures, but I'm always amazed at how few people know this name and what has occurred. Have either of you, Damone or Chat, heard of Kerry James Marshall?
Kerry James Marshall. And if I have, it's probably not for the same reason. My Kerry James Marshall was probably for credit card fraud, where you all probably gonna mention a great artist. You know what I'm saying? So that might, right. So yes, what makes this name so special?
So what makes the name so special is, one, he has a studio in Bronzeville. He is alive, living. He's not a deceased artist, and he's an African American artist here in Chicago. But in 1999, Chat Daddy, you probably remember the McCormick Place expansion, and they expanded all those areas where you have conferences, but they put art in all those walls, and there was a gallery on the north side that had the great privilege to handle the art call, and there were 2 African-American artists that were accepted, and one of them was Kerry James Marshall from the south side of Chicago, and they purchased one of his paintings for $25,000 in 1999, Chat Daddy. Big deal, right?
Yeah, guess what?
Yeah, but I look at what it's probably worth now.
Thank you, and I say that to say I would bet $1 to a dime you and most of your viewers had a car worth $25,000 in 1999. I'd say that's
right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Last year, Pier Authority, who owns Navy Pier and McCormick Place, took that painting off the wall, took it to Sotheby's, and they auctioned it. How much do you think it auctioned for? Now I asked Damone first, because he looks like a money man. I see that high-end stuff in his house, so I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say,
what you think?
70K.
70K. Okay, that's good. That's 3 times, Chat. What you thinking, Chat?
I'm thinking as well too. I'm thinking it had increased in value over the years. We all know that fine art is an investment, that the value increases over. I'm not surprised by what you're going to say. I'm sure
You're right there. Okay, let's
so
see.
Damone said 3 times. Chat, he said you expect it to appreciate. How about it auctioned for $21 million?
Right.
This is a
sold
real
by
story.
To P. Diddy.
And P. Diddy bought it.
Right.
6
I remember that.
Yep.
Wow.
6 months later, another one sold in that general area. What was
$18 million.
But that's an extreme.
Yes.
Now that doesn't happen every day, but I can tell you if you're looking in the art at the art behind us and the 9 virtual exhibit catalogs before this one we just did and all the artists in there, all of those artists, chat, have appreciated 50%, 100%, 150%, maybe not 300,000% like the case that I'm mentioning, but our banks are only returning about 2% interest, if that. Right. So when we have a commodity, our national treasures, our living artists in our community that fortunately or unfortunately we've kind of taken granted, because we have that here, Chad. You could turn around, you come into the gallery, you can see great art, but right now we have to remember there are people who understand the value of our commodity, our national treasure. We have to start taking advantage of it too. So that is part of
and I want to say that it's
role.
important to start bringing your children in and getting them involved in the arts too. Unfortunately, they've taken art out of the schools, art education. The information is right here in the Bronzeville Art District and maybe in the other galleries around the city or around the country or around the world. Expose your children to art. And then as you purchase original art, have it so you can pass it down. That's and continue to pass it down from generation to generation. And then keep the information about each of the artists, the biographies, the certificates of authenticity, put them away in a safe space so you can pass that down with it as well.
Exactly.
You know what I found, and this is so sad to me because I'm an interior decorator and I love to decorate. I love artwork, all of that. People who do nothing with their walls. They put nothing on their walls. Either they have the dogs playing poker, or they still had that picture of John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and who was the other person sitting on that? You find it at Auntie's house. How do we even make people aware of the value of this? You guys have been doing a great job, but what's the first step we can take to start buying art?
You know, the first step is just to make a change in your own personal life, because remember, we're still the largest consumers of everything. Everything out there, we buy it the most. Unfortunately, we're the largest consumers of depreciating things too. So we have to understand that original art is valuable because it's the only one in the world. If I look behind you in each of your houses, most of the things that they create for us are mass produced. So anytime you can get something that's rare, so an original, and because of what the artists make the artwork out of, it's archival. So an oil painting is pigment. Pigment comes from the earth, mixed with oil on canvas that they gesso, but that stops it from rotting from the inside. So now you'll find that work, that oil painting, that acrylic painting will last 300, 400, 500 years.
Just like the pyramids and in Ethiopia. When we traveled to Ethiopia, we saw paintings made out of pigment from the earth that were dated back to the 1300s. It was like amazing.
Still around.
And vibrant in color.
So that, like your house, will last. So to your question, how do we start? Find out what speaks to you, because just like both of your houses have a personality, it's part of your brand, who you are. So when someone comes in your home, what do you want them to know and feel about you, who you are? And you can express those individual pieces. And then
there's some people who like faces and some people who don't. They like abstract, or they like, landscapes or florals. So know what you like and then what speaks to you.
Then once you find something that speaks to you, find out about that artist, because just like the stock market, there are different types of purchases. So you could go into the stock market and buy an emerging stock, an IPO, something that's just coming out, stock that's been around for a little while, or a blue chip. The art world is the exact same way. You can find an emerging artist who's just starting out, trying to get his name out. So his pieces might be a couple $100 or $500.
Right. Okay.
Where like myself, I've been able to sell work for as much as $25,000, but most of my paintings sell for $2,500 to $5,000. But that paid over time. Frances is painting now for 15 years. Most of her works sell for $1,500 to $2,500. However, the size is also a factor, and then most galleries will allow you to pay over time. So
Okay.
instead of a new suit or a new pair of shoes that depreciate, maybe a new piece of art, and you pay on it, and then you live with it, and it grows and appreciates over time.
And the gallery Guichard, there's no interest. So maybe most galleries, I don't believe, have interest. So, you know, like on your credit card, you have your interest that you have to pay. Most galleries will allow you to spread the payments out over time without interest.
Nice.
You know, one thing I also realize, and we realize, is, you know, we're trying to always stay in people's spaces and market, but no matter how much you market, there's always someone who says, oh, I never knew you were here 15 years later. And oftentimes our gallery partners, oh, I didn't know there were 6 art institutions in Bronzeville. So we wanted to share another video that gives a quick ride around.
Let's do that.
And
I love it.
Each of these institutions.
Okay, let's see. Do this
Very
right.
Take your time. We still got it set up right. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me add it back to the screen. Bishop, I told you we were taking an art gallery tour tonight. I told you that.
You on the trolley like old school, but you just don't got to walk around, chat.
So look at how we multiple screens. I love this. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. There we go.
Okay, wait. I think I need to go back in.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. Okay.
You got to bring us back in, Art.
Well, no, it's not showing you guys on here. You have to add. Let me see.
Not yet.
Right, here we go.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I just want to go. Okay, let me know if it's if you see it come up.
We see it. Yep, it's coming up. Hold on. Bishop, what happened? Did you leave us?
No.
Oh, you blocked your. Okay. All right. Very good.
There we go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Josh Harris, Associate State Director of Advocacy and Outreach for AARP. Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Project.
Welcome to the third Friday's
Bronzeville Art District
Trolley Tour. And welcome to Sacred Ground. Documenting our artists here at Gallery Guichard is very important because we're not only documenting our artists, but we're also documenting our culture in Nigeria. And we're here live on 38th in Michigan on Sacred Ground, home of the new Bronzeville Renaissance.
Check 1, 2, peace and love, y'all. This is Raymond A. Thomas of Raymond A. Thomas Studio. This month on the Trolley Tour, we're going to have a selection of videos and interviews highlighting my career as a creative artist and filmmaker.
Hey, what's up? My name is Nikki B. I am a photographer and a resident of Bronzeville Artist Lodge. We will be featuring photos.
Hi, I'm Alpha Breton. I'm with the Phantom Gallery Chicago Network, Chief Curator. We'll be examining the state of our environment with this trolley tour. And I will be displaying work that is about art and social justice.
Hi, my name is Alan Emerson Hicks, and I will be showing artwork, new artwork that I've been working on in my studio. And I will also be working on a new sculpture.
This is Bruce Gage from Miglio di Mario Uomo and Flyball Showroom. And we're going to be featuring some of the history of past black designers in Chicago.
Hi, I'm Yvette Warren, Marketing Director for Little Black Girl. For August, our trolley tour, our virtual trolley tour, is going to feature one of my favorite local performers. We have the Javon Watson Experience. Hello, my name is Faye Edwards, owner of Phi A African Art in Bronzeville, and we're very excited to bring to you an artist from Nigeria. His name is Lonre Buraimo. He's from an extremely artistic family. And for this collection, he calls it From Africa to America. My name is Monique Brinkman-Hill, and I'm the Executive Director of the Southside Community Art Center. Here today on this next trolley tour, we will be featuring a show with the curator, Paul Branton, who will be talking a little bit to you about the concept for his show,
Existing Between Lines and Spaces. This is Paul Branton, the curator of the show. We have 9 different artists from around the country, all works on paper.
This month for the Bronzeville Art District virtual trolley tour, Long Gallery will be extending the life of Robert Louis Clark's work, which we showed last month. His show, a series of commands by Black, will still be up. There are a couple of new pieces on the wall as well, so we'll be talking for those and showing you some of the work that you may not have seen last month.
For the second year, AARP Illinois is proud to sponsor the Trolley Tour as a celebration of Bronzeville's vibrant community. With its mission of exposing patrons to multicultural artists, Gallery Guichard and its partner galleries are essential to preserving and promoting the cultural heritage of Bronzeville. Last year, more than 4,000 people turned out for the Trolley Tour wrap-up party, sponsored by AARP Chicago and Gallery Guichard in partnership with Club Steppen 95.1. AARP Chicago is looking forward to more events like this. A reminder to residents that AARP advocates for affordable healthcare, housing, transportation, safety, and community development in Bronzeville, Chicago, and across the country. By supporting communities in this way, AARP wants to ensure that residents can age in place in multi-generational communities where their history can be celebrated. To learn more about AARP and how you can become involved, visit aarp.org/NEARYOU.
Excellent, 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 excellent. That was amazing. I do have a question. Your ball that you have every year that I just love, the all-white ball. Look, I buy a good white outfit to wear to you all's party every year. What's going to happen now? We're in the middle of a pandemic, and that presentation was incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. And
but we are going to do that. Yes, we are. We are going to have a virtual mayor's ball.
That's right. We gotta keep giving, chat. And for the last 3 years, this is the 4th year we've been able to raise now $20,000 that we've given to local charities that help young people in Bronzeville, and we're excited about that. And that's separate from the work we've done for the art district. And this year, we're giving away another $8,000, chat, and
nice.
We've got 2 amazing nonprofits that we're going to donate to.
I can tell you a little bit about them. Equality Should Be Normal on 51st Street, 229 East 51st Street. And this young man, Ramel Murphy, is amazing. He really is reaching into his pockets and his time and using and working with other people to help with him moving product to the community. Those who are in need of socks and toilet paper or anything, mentoring, tutoring, he does everything. He has it all right there for the young people. And I'll just show the brochure. It's the Barbara Murphy Equality Should Be Normal. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, let me zoom in. Hold on, let me zoom in. Very good. Oh, we see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
So we'll be talking to him as well as the Friends of Bronzeville Classical School. Friends of Bronzeville Classical School will donate to them, and they are the premier classical school right here in Bronzeville, helping young people achieve their dreams through education.
And that foundation helps with still, even though it is a public school and it's a classical school, there's still teachers that have to pitch in to buy supplies. So this helps them to have funding there so they don't have to wait for a request, which often might take a lot of time.
Or not happen at all. And
not
you know,
happen.
there's so many schools that are struggling and having a difficult time, especially at this time when they're having to work from home. So this will help them be able to provide the resources and services they need for their students. Even though there's much, much more that they need. So we ask everyone to donate to our nonprofit, Building Community Foundation, Inc. But another thing that we're doing is we're going to have a cultural and historic conversation with a gentleman who is 102 years old.
He just had a birthday yesterday.
So we're also donating $1,000 to his foundation, and he actually has a scholarship set up at the University of Chicago.
That's right. He is actually a graduate of the University of Chicago.
Right, and that's important. But I wanted to add on to our first nonprofit, and if you drive by 236 East 51st, Chat Daddy reminds us, and Damone, you probably remember how, you remember the park districts used to have those field houses, you go hang out, but it was a place as a young person, you know, that you could be somewhere with other young people, play some games, play some pool, whatever. But this place has, you know, pool table, video games, but then a lot of
computer services,
so kids who don't have access to the internet. And, you know, a lot of nonprofits do a lot of work, but he's open to those young people on the street that we see who need a place to go.
Right. Between 1 and 3, he distributes all those products that we talked about earlier. So, you know, things that you might need. He also offers meals for the hungry. And so and the meals come from Girl and the Goat. So it's like really good food.
Right? Oh, honey, that's very good food. Are you kidding me? Yes, very good. Well, look, Mayor and First Lady, was there anything you two forgot to add on this? Look, I feel like you've done the State of the Union address tonight. I feel like our world is much more healthier. Bishop, is Damone, anything you want to talk to him about before we run?
I'm looking at you and your wife, and I feel like I've met you before.
Yeah.
There's an artist, Nikhil Patterson, in Bronzeville, and her father is Tyrone Forte.
Oh
yes.
That's a lot. 90% of the art in their home is from the gallery, and several of his pieces are mine. But those are dear friends.
Exactly.
So this is why I know you guys. I was married to Nikhil. You all were at my wedding.
Wow.
We're not married anymore. But
beautiful.
I know.
Wait. Only on Chat Daddy show. Dirt alert.
I think it was because I'm a Broadway performer, and I think there was an event that you guys were gonna have that I was gonna perform at, but I couldn't because I had to go back to New York.
35th Street, right? When we were at 35th Street.
I think so. It was. But I'm looking at you guys going, I know these people.
A little more hair now. That's the difference.
Well, and my hair is all gone. So yeah. Wow.
Small world. Only on my show. Now here's the deal. This wasn't even planned. Who knew? Only on this show do we have coincidences like that. This is not the first time this has happened on this show.
Well, Chad, you know everybody.
I want to say, Chad, is hats off to you for keeping it real in the streets and keeping the word out there about everything that's going on, cultural, news.
Yes.
You know, I want to give it to you that, you know, some people get nervous, but you always figure it out, and you're a survivor. And hats off to your spirit. And
your pivot. This is really nice, and we love you.
Look, who knew you could turn a second bedroom into a studio and it would work? You know what I'm saying? Who knew? Look, that the paint on the wall is $7 oops paint. You get what I'm saying? And this wall was painted years ago. This wasn't something I just did. This was set up like this. And who knew it would turn into my studio? I mean, but God.
Exactly.
Love your decorations too. Your light. Yeah.
But now we got some other things coming soon. Yes, sir.
Sounds like a write-off.
Yeah. Hello. Are we there? Yes.
Andre, if there's any, and we'll get information exchange, but if there's any way that we can help support the work that you're doing, I'd love to talk about that and figure out how to make that happen.
Absolutely. And thank you for showing the website, www.galleryguichard.com. Make sure you put on your calendars December 11th for the Mayor and First Lady Ball. We're going to celebrate again the 102nd birthday of Timuel Black, but we're also celebrating the birthday of Andre Guichard. His birthday. We're going to have a party with him on Friday as well.
54 young. 54.
Oh, wow. We want to shout out Raymond Thomas as well, too. Raymond is on a beach right now celebrating his 55th. And that's what I did. I went and celebrated my 55th on a beach. And I saw that today. So, yes, amen. Double nickel. Yeah, well, I tell you, you both look great. Real quick, leave us with a holiday message of hope and inspiration, if you could, from both of you. And I appreciate you both being here tonight.
I say, keep the faith, work hard, it will come, be prepared when it does.
Energy goes where your focus flows. So let's stay focused on positive things positively.
Oh my God, I love you both. This was so incredible. Damone, anything in closing? Now that I done got all that dirt, I can't wait to investigate that. Anything else in closing?
I'm just so honored. I was sitting here going, I know these people. I know, and not just because Yeah, no, it's so great to see you all.
You too.
You look great too. I see your face now too.
Is it maybe a little rounder, 45 now. No, but so great to see you. And I really mean it. If there's anything we can do to support the work, I would love to talk about ways to make that happen.
All right.
Thank you,
well,
guys.
ladies and gentlemen, my favorite couple, the couple that just keeps giving it to us and giving it to us with grace and style and elegance. I just appreciate them. Gallery Guichard, located in the Bronzeville area on 47th Street. We're in the midst of a pandemic right now, but if you go to their website, you'll be able to take a virtual tour. Also, the Bronzeville Art District, and on December 11th is a celebration, virtual, but we all are doing virtual right now, and we're celebrating a historian, Mr. Timuel Black, who turned 102 years old yesterday. Right. And look, and just his sprite, he quicker than me.
He ain't missing nothing.
Exactly.
Wow. He is quicker than me. I'll never forget when I first met him in Zenobia, and I'm like, this man is just, he is going on like the Energizer Bunny, and we thank God for him.
Yeah, 102 is the new 40.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Well, God bless. Happy holidays.
December 18th. That's the trolley tour.
December 18th. Okay, so the 11th is the Bronzeville Ball, and December 18th is the last trolley tour.
That's right.
I'll see you both for it. Happy holidays. God bless, and thanks for being here. Wonderful segment tonight. Wonderful segment. All right, have a great evening. Thank you. All right, boy, that was great. The Guichards, you guys, give it up. Gallery Guichard, man, what a small world. Lord have mercy. Only on my show. I'm telling you, this type of stuff has happened only on it. You don't see this on Good Morning America. You don't see this on the Today Show. Let Chat Daddy do a show, and folks talking about I'm so-and-so's ex-relative, ex-cousin, third removed. Was married to your baby mama, daddy, grandmama, daddy.
Oh my God. I was sitting there going, I know these people.
Wow.
I know these people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Bishop, this has been amazing. I just love you, my friend. Are you okay? You good? Everything good so far?
Good. I just keep refilling my water over here. So
okay.
Don't mind me. I'm going for a next fill up.
All right, well, we're going to get in our conversation in just a minute. Coming up on the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show, tomorrow evening, we're going to spend our entire show talking about mental health within our community, our families, how we can do things just better And so tomorrow night, my co-host is Mr. Alan Tony Amberg. He was here with us before. He's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And so he'll be here. We'll talk about when is it time to go seek therapy and the medication you might take. So he'll be here to talk about all of that tomorrow night, as well as Dr. Wanda Parker will be back with us, and she will be talking about how to deal with your family and circumstances. A lot of people may not have money for a typical holiday like in past years. A lot of people have lost a lot of loved ones. So we're going to talk about that. So our entire show tomorrow night is about mental health. Make sure you're here tomorrow evening. All right, Bishop, what else we got?
Man, well, and speaking of mental health, it's a great way to pivot. That's the key word tonight, isn't it? Pivot. Pivot into this next conversation about fatherhood and the presence of fathers in the lives of their children, particularly our boys. There was an article or an image, a photo that was going around of a prolific pastor and a singer, gospel artist, with his teenage son laying with his head buried in his father's chest, sleeping on his father's chest. And the response to that photo was at one point so beautiful, and then on the other hand, extremely toxic and disheartening.
And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that people would even take it there. Damone, help us to understand the difference between it being beautiful and it turning toxic.
Yeah, it is to say that this teenage boy, especially in a culture that despises the exhibition of emotion among men, that it was so beautiful to see this teenage boy nestled in his father's arm, comforted, peaceful, loving, and for that image to be dragged through the toxicity of a misappropriation of sexuality and sex, to debase it as something to be ashamed of. I was disgusted, honestly, by it, because I feel like we're living in a culture where our boys, not our men, but our boys, our teenagers, have become so emotionally hardened and unavailable. And emotionally hardened and unavailable boys turn into emotionally hardened, unavailable, toxic, and dangerous men.
Amen.
All because of the stigma that we put on the exhibition of emotion, warmth, and love, sensitivity, and sensuality, not sexuality, but sensuality, one between a father and a son, even bigger between men in general. I'm disheartened that we've created a space where that kind of warmth and love has been made to seem ugly and something to be ashamed of.
And I'm wondering, why is that so? Because if you remembered a time period in our lives, it was honor thy father. Father was loved and adored. I guess dads being put out the house, women being told that this man, you ain't gonna be able to get this subsidized rent if this man is here. I'm trying to figure out, Bishop, where did we lose the connection that the man is not worthy anymore? I was looking at a post on social media today that said sisters are going to get these conceal and carry permits for their communities, and it's black men that's committing the crimes against them, or men. You know what I'm saying? When do we become so vilified? And I'm talking about men across the board.
Men across the board, but particularly black men for sure. I mean, we live in a culture now where we're almost obsolete. Many women will say, I don't need a man. You can have a baby by yourself, and you said something very interesting. In order to get that fat crib, that fat subsidized crib, you have to deny the presence of a man in that house who would subsidize and then get in the way of you having that fat subsidized crib, that we have to deny his presence in order for you to have a place to lay your head. That's problematic. But again, Art, I think we go way back to the root that we've withheld valuable, necessary, emotional, and physical connectivity and warmth. We withheld it, and it's so important to have it, because without it, we grow hard, we grow disheartened, and we are not able to function with full emotionality. And I think I just made the word, we preachers are good for that. But with full emotion in the world, we can't show up because we've so negatively stigmatized that space.
What's so interesting? I find myself to be more emotionally open than my father was. And maybe I didn't know his father like that. But I think that men of today are a little bit more emotionally open, ones that know how to navigate the world versus those that refuse to learn to be more emotionally there.
Well, I think you just said something very key, who refuse to learn, because now it's definitely a learned behavior. My birth father and his father did not get along because my birth father was artistic and light.
Oh, wow. And now, did you say artistic and light? Oh, like as in an artist?
Yes.
Oh,
and
like,
light.
Okay.
And so it that's not manly. It's not manly to live in that space. And so there was a disconnect between his father and himself. Mm-hmm. He was more of a mama's boy. And I don't care what anybody says, mama is not daddy. I think God was very brilliant when he created the necessity for the two.
Right.
Mommy and daddy. There are just some things that mama can't give to a boy to turn him into a solid man. Now you can love him well, but there are just some things that just as there are just some things that I cannot give to my daughter. I can love her well, set a standard, but there are just some things that my daughter needs her mother for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've gotten away from that. And we've talked about this before. And it's a lot in the breakdown of the relationship between the Black man and the Black woman. And I think we're going to talk about that a little later in another segment of this. But I mean, the toxicity between, and we can talk about it, slavery and the white. Yeah, okay, I'll write that story for a minute. But
why? We've been riding that story for 800 years. I want to talk about why is there no love now within our communities, no love within our homes. Yeah, when was the last time? I know maybe 2 people that got married this year. Yeah, it's a pandemic, but hell, let's look at the last 5 years. I probably know only maybe 4 people that has gotten married within the last 5 years. And I know plenty of women and men that would love to be in a loving, long-term committed relationship.
Yeah, it's amazing that the culture no longer really holds that institution up as valuable anymore. We don't hold marriage up. And when we get into marriage, we don't honor the marriage, because no sooner than we get into it, 1 year later, we're trying to get out. If you can't say amen, say ouch.
I'm gonna sip my tea.
We don't honor the marriage when we get into it. You get into the marriage and 1 year later you're having an affair. It gets rough and you want to leave. So there is that sense of stick-to-itiveness and commitment that our foreparents had that we just don't have in a culture anymore. Not as strong. I'm not going to say we don't have it, because hell, I'm married 15 years. And 15 years now is a long time.
It is.
15 years is a long time now. Before that, you still were in your honeymoon phase 15 years in, but now you're OG at 15 years old. So yeah, I'm disheartened that we drug that picture for filth. I tell my 8-year-old son, I will kiss you and hug you and love you and hold you until they have to pry my cold, dead hands off of you. My son will know the physical love from his father, not just my checkbook, but my hand and my heart. I'm 45 years old and I still kiss my daddy on the cheek. I still rest my head on my father's shoulder. That's the relationship that we've caught. And he's not even my birth father. My birth father died right after I was born. So this is a chosen relationship. My children know him as granddaddy because he had the ability and the wherewithal to show up in the world with heart and hand. The expectation from men right now, most of us, is just our hand. What can I get from him? He's got to have, at least 6 figures. Hell, you don't have 6 figures. Why you want him to have 6 figures and you ain't got 6 figures? He's got to have a fat crib. You ain't even got a fat apartment. Why you want him to have a fat crib? He's got to be driving no less than a Lex. You still stepping out in a Pontiac G6. Come on.
Did you see recently where this lady was talking to this guy that's a relationship advice person? He's a matchmaker, and everybody was up in arms on social media. He told her she was average at best, and people thought that he was being a player hater. And really, she was like, I need a man with 6 figures, and I loved his boldness. I loved the truth about what he said. She was average at best, if anything. But she mad because she can't have what she want on her list. I think our priorities, male and female, are effed up. I think our priorities are horrible nowadays. And they've been like that for a long time.
Yeah, because we're not looking for who we can build with. We're not looking for that sense of reciprocity. We're not looking for that person who not only financially has your back, but who spiritually and emotionally has your back. There are a lot of Black women living in fat houses with fat lips and black eyes to accompany it. Did you hear what I just said?
I heard you.
He might have had the big fat, the checkbook, but he's kicking your behind every night. So our values are skewed. You want that girl with the Coke bottle body, and she can put it down in the bedroom, but when the rubber hits the road, she ain't got nothing else for you. Your value is off. Your value is off. And so we've got to reconnect to those values.
Right.
Thank God, that she can pray for me and put it down.
All right. Now, not pray and put it down.
Listen, she can speak to my heart and speak to other things too.
All right. Now, well, I need to find me somebody like that.
Listen, because it's lacking. We settle for one when we really can, and we're created to have it all.
I agree. We were put on this earth to have all of the riches that God wants us to have. He wants us to be abundantly blessed. And abundantly blessed means physical, mental, and spiritual. I'm a firm believer of that. I really do. I'm a firm believer. Physical, mental, and spiritual can be yours.
Yes.
Damone, I want to find out, what are some advice you would want to give to these dads to help reconnect with their children? A lot of fathers nowadays, they just daddy because of child support. They just daddy because the DNA said so, but they really don't have much involvement in their children's life. What advice would you want to give for these people to be able to get back to their children?
I'm going to tell you something my 12-year-old daughter said to me. Because I travel a lot. She says, Daddy, I really love it when you're home.
Oh.
My 8-year-old son said to me, this is before I left to go do this concert, Daddy, can we make that cheesecake together? My daughter called me. I was on the road and she was upset. She said, this is the 3rd Sunday you've missed our swim lesson and we're learning so much. I can do the backstroke now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem when we just relegate the man's presence to $1 when the children are crying out for presents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the time now. Mommy and daddy, you may not have worked. Be grown and handle your business on your own. But these children need the presence of daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I told you my birth father died shortly after I was born. The man I know as my father was my first acting teacher. I met him when I was 9. I wandered into his class and we just fell in love. I looked like him. And so people would see us together and go, "Oh, is that your son?" And we look at each other and we go, "Yeah." What did I just say? Presents, yes, but then daddies, it's time to claim your children. Biological or sociological. It's time for you to claim your children. You have a lot of kids wandering around uncovered, unattached, and they don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there are some men who are well able to stand in the gap. And again, this doesn't have to do anything with being in relationship with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little one right now. He's not my blood child. But I'll tell you, his mom is so glad that she's able to say, "I'm going to call your dad." And she's talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be present. We have to claim our children. And then we have to pour in. It's not enough to just sit and watch the movie. But what are the themes in the movie that without proper direction might misdirect the lives of our children? What are the images that our children are seeing that daddy needs to speak to? Simple things, There's small things to the great things. And from daddy's voice rings clearer and firmer than it does from mommy's voice.
Yes. Yes.
Here's another example. Our G would go to her mother for some stuff. And this is what she said. She came to me and talked. "Don't you want to talk to your mom about this?" She said, "No, there's some things I want to talk to my daddy about." The children will lead us. We're messing around, and pardon my French, because I get passionate about this. I think these damn court proceedings get in the way of a lot of this stuff. Child support is another way to warehouse black and brown men. I get it. Some people are deadbeats, and they'll pay in the end. Vengeance is mine, saith
the Lord. That's right.
Well, I don't need the courts to throw them away. God's got that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm frustrated by that, but because it's a way to keep us out. It's a way to keep us out. My daughter said, "There are some things that I just want to talk to you about, Daddy."
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the time for us to show up, not with just presence, not just to pour in, not just to claim, because our children said, "There are just some things that I need to release to you, Daddy."
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and just hear me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My son said something, my 8-year-old son, oh man, messed me up. He said, this is what he said: "When I get my wife, I'm never going to let her walk next to the curb, Daddy."
Oh, but he's right. That's what you're supposed to do.
Daddy do.
Right. That's what you.
Then I
he's
don't
right.
have to say it. I didn't have to say, "I put mommy on the inside because I don't want her to get toppled over by a horse or the cars to come," because that's what that was, to protect them from the dangers of the road. I didn't even have to say it. So there are some things, Daddy, that we just have to model.
Yes.
We have to model some things.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
And show how to honor. I'll tell you, my daughter said this. She was watching a music video. My 12-year-old daughter, no prompting from me, watching a video, and the girl in the video was using her behind as a credit card swipe.
Yes. I happen to know that. I happen to know that video very well. I'm sorry to say, but yes.
You know what my daughter said to me? What kind of respect does she have for herself to let her behind be used as a credit card machine, Daddy? Why is she letting people swipe a credit card between her cheeks? Now, one, I was like, what the hell are we watching in here? That you can see this, I had to turn the thing. But she said it. I would never let anybody do that to me. Mm-hmm. Her mother is classy and her father is present. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to create the space. And I said it earlier, and I want to hang a hat here for a moment, because some of us got together because we saw a woman with a body made by Fisher, but her mind was by Mattel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the only thing we connected to was the fact that her body was banging. So we banged it. And we created a child and didn't know that this woman was not emotionally, mentally, spiritually, socially equipped to engage a singing relationship, let alone bringing a child. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We connected with the man who could lay it right, but was good for nothing else beyond those few minutes. Mm-hmm. And so we're shocked that now they can't be the image, they can't show up like we feel like we want them to. Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't show up in the beginning. Only a piece of him was there because that was the only piece that you were concerned about. Mm-hmm. So we've got to we have to be careful about who we connect with and who we create with. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. I do. It's a as you said, this is now the time more than ever for us to rediscover a lot of things. I know people 3-4 baby daddies, and each one of them situations, each one of those children chose a different direction. You lucky if you get maybe 2 good examples out of that type of situation, you know. Yep. So it's definitely something we have to look at. Well, Bishop, as we are closing out tonight's show, what do you want to say to everybody as a holiday message and anything you want to say in your closing? You were right about everything you said this evening, right? I'm just a little mad because, you know, those people that can lay it well, you should know that to begin with. You should know.
They can lay it well, but that's all they got.
Right. You should know. All right. Go ahead. What's your closing thoughts, sir?
You know, my closing is that we would not be so focused on the material. Why? Because we can't even get the material now. So this is the time that God has blessed us with to do some things right, to do some things better, to go deeper. I would that we would connect to the thing that God spoke over our lives in the beginning when he created us. He created the birds of the air and the beasts of the field, and he said, that's good. He looked at the moon and the stars, and he said, yeah, that's good. Looked at the fish of the sea, and he said, that's good. And then he shaped man, and he looked back and said, now that's very good. This is the season to reconnect to the declaration that God made over us from the beginning. Now that's very good. And we've got the time to do it. Businesses are closing, so you can't even use work as an excuse to do something.
No, you can't. I tell people that all the time. You cannot. You cannot. Everybody thought this was good. Hey, Queen D, Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Queen D, for that tonight. DJ Below, Mr. Brandon Baker. He's gonna be on the show with us Thursday night. He's an amazing young man, and I cannot wait to introduce you guys to him. He really is a great young man. Man, this has been a great show tonight. This has been excellent.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad that you had me on. I'm glad that we were able to do it. I love you, Art, and everything that the mayor said is true. I've watched it. I've watched it now intimately in these last few months, but I've watched it peripherally from the beginning, from the moment you stopped flying to the moment you started to soar.
Wow.
You are doing the dang thing, and
because I met you as passenger D5. You were sitting in the 5th row in seat D, and that's how we met when I was a flight attendant. So just to know all these many years and just to watch life unfold the way it has just been incredible to me. It really has. Doing this show every night is really therapy for me, and I love it. And I'm a communicator. I believe in keeping people connected. I believe in giving out, free information so that we are people that are informed and empowered and loved. And so, whatever the haters and people that don't support and do all that, I do this to them. But otherwise, look, I do this to them. Otherwise,
listen, and I'll tell you, don't even do that to them, because here's the wonderful thing. One of my favorite lines from Othello, he says, "What great ones do, the less will prattle of." So you ain't even got to give them the finger, because God says, won't you go ahead and bless those who, despitefully, right? So you ain't even got to flip them off. You can be like, bless you, bruh.
Bless you.
Look. Here.
Bless you.
Let me make it rain on you, because I got
it. Amen.
I got it like that.
Amen. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I'm not going to see the finger. I'm just going, why don't you dance in my rain?
That's right. That's right. Watch my smoke. Watch my smoke. Amen. You're absolutely right. Well, let's remind everybody one last time. Don't forget to wear your mask, ladies and gentlemen. Please wear your mask. Our new president-elect is looking to get everybody to wear their mask 100 days straight. Just wear the mask. Do what's necessary. Please make sure you wash your hands. Soap and water is always the best way to go. If you don't have soap and water, hand sanitizer will work. Take that bad boy, put it in them hands. Last night, our co-host had some lotion to go after you clean your hands, but because this hand sanitizer is rough on your cuticles, all that. I've never gone this long without a manicure. This is crazy. Also, I do not. Also, social distance, please. It's important that you social distance. And if you're not feeling well, keep your ass in the house. That's what we say. Bottom line. Keep your ass at home. That's all. It's the holiday season. Stay your ass in the house and ho in your own house.
In your own house.
Right. All right. Well, on behalf of my good friend Bishop Damone Seraphin and yours truly, I am Art Chat Daddy Sims. Do me a favor, go over to my website, therealchatdaddy.com. There you can find out more information about yours truly, therealchatdaddy.com. I also need for you guys to please go over to YouTube and subscribe to The Real Chat Daddy Show. It's free, it's easy, it's simple. If you put in The Real Chat Daddy Show, when it pops up, you'll see a red button that says subscribe. It'll just let you know every evening when the show is on. And you can also go back to YouTube and watch the shows at any particular time. Same way with Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show there as well, too. All right. Well, tomorrow night, our entire show is dedicated to the awakening of your mental health. I have some great guests for tomorrow night. So make sure you guys come back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Bishop, I love you, my friend.
You too, man. I love you too.
Thank you. It's time for us to get off the air. We did a great job tonight. Thank you to Gallery Guichard, the Bronzeville Art Tour. All of that was just wonderful. They did the damn thing tonight with presentation and everything. We love them. All right, you guys, for more information, again, therealchatdaddy.com. Stop there, take a visit. We are out. Good night, Bishop. I love you, my friend. See you later, brother.
We did that.
No, hold on. Let me get us out of here.